Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 29, Book 2, and that of course being Garox, the Coral Giant. So here we are with Book 2 of Series 29, and like always guys, as you know how this goes down, in-depth story analysis and my overall thoughts on this epic adventure. So that being said, make sure you've read this book before watching this review, unless you don't care for spoilers. With that being said, let's get on with it. Our story begins with exposition of the plot, with the other three defenders gathering their ingredients while we come to Meandra and her process of retrieving hers. She mentions the iconic lighthouse that shines brightly on the days. She's along with Rotu, who tries to warn the villagers. Yeah, she's with Rotu. And of course, throughout the book, Rotu's going to be all cocky and full of himself and try, oh, I'm the prince, so I've got power. Garox arrives using his tentacles to create waves to flood the village. Our heroes try to stop Garox, only to have their boat tossed over, and Garox approaches. Our heroes turn the boat and make a retreat. However, Garox was too fast. He caught up, lashing our heroes with waves. While overpowering our heroes, he fled, letting his wave attacks finish our heroes off, which I think is a subtle implication that he has an ego, as in Garox. The heroes crash at the lighthouse island. They meet Myandra's brother, Tristan. When Garox realizes they survive, he comes back to finish him off. Garox lashes crazy, making Myandra having doubts. Tom gives her some advice not to give up, telling once again to use the environment to the hero's advantage. It's not as bad as it was Rafe, so I'll admit that. An epic battle occurs while Garox attempting to drown Myandra, however she escapes barely. Myandra uses some explosive barrels with gasoline-like substance to lure Garox into a trap. She engulfs her weapon in the chemicals, tosses it at Garox, causing him to engulf in flames, leaving the next token recovered. So she's got that now. So, yeah. I literally balled through that story, didn't I? Like, just 2 minutes in, we're already done. But yeah, that's to bring it. The fact is, while the first book was kind of a, how do I put it? The first book was kind of a, it was so predictable how to beat the beast. This one wasn't. Well, it kind of is a bit all. At least the first book was all over the place, whereas this one, it's kind of padded and predictable. And I'll probably get to that in a bit more in detail. But first, I want to cut to the characters of the story, and then I'll get to the rest of my thoughts on that. So of course, Myandra's our lead. She's okay for a hero. She's arguably the best thing of this book to me, Myandra, because Garox himself is kind of he has his moments, but he's just an upgraded version of Elko to me. But like I said, Myandra, best part of this book. She's a strong, independent warrior, a great hero. She does have her doubts, and I think it was better executed than it was Rafe. And that's the strongest point of this book for me. From there, we've got Rotu. While he's also he's on a redemptive quest, trying to redeem himself for the past evil deeds he's done to Tangala. He's slowly trying to get past that, trying to get better, but he still remains egotistical, cocky, and that his position of power kind of goes to his head. So there is that for you. But I wouldn't say enough. He may have a few moments, but to be fair though, his position of power does allow them, more respect and a bit more leverage to get to places where they need to be. Tristan, her brother, he appears like halfway through the book and he doesn't really get much to do. He's just there for every way for Myandra to have some more encouragement as well as higher stakes on the line. So he's more of a plot device than anything else. And as for the beast, Garox, for me, I would say he's probably just there for me. He's better than Elko. He's a better version of Elko in my mind. He uses his tentacles as his main attack to create waves. So he's a beast that also relies on the environment to be strong. If there's no water around, then he's going to be kind of screwed up. And I'm sure without water, Coral will probably die, unless someone correct me if I'm wrong with that. But yeah, he's also egotistical when he has like a moment in the book where he beats the heroes easy peasy. He could kill them, but he'd rather let his wave attacks finish them off, which is kind of a bit stupid. Why not just kill him when you have the chance, while you have him in your sights? And that kind of implies an egotistical trait to me. Um, and then because of this, it leads to his demise, where he keeps stalling the fight as much as possible when he has multiple. Because throughout this book, Garox is winning every encounter they have, and he has multiple chances to kill them, I think. But for whatever reason, Mind was able to find the confidence to create a plan to beat Garox in a quite of a gory death, with engulfing him in fire and all that. So it's there, But like I said, I think that as hard as this is to admit to myself, I personally think on a story level I do enjoy Calderon more, and I'm saying that is kind of weird for me to say, because the Book of Calderon had such a tr- predictable plot. This one, while it didn't have a predictable plot, it was just that it didn't interest me as much as Calderon's plot did. At least Calderon's plot was so predictable, I was waiting to see it turn out. In a way, Calderon was like, it was predictable, but I was laughing so hard at how predictable it was. I was like, oh my god, it can't get any worse. But so I think I had more fun with Calderon's story of how predictable and cliche it was than the story of Garox's story and all that. Because Garox's story is to me, it's just your generic Beast Quest story. Your hero has doubts, fights a beast that doesn't have anything special about him, that maybe a bit of an egotistical trait, but that's it. Because and you've got your token psychic Rotu, this there. So the best thing about this book, in my opinion, like I said, is Myandra. The worst part for me, probably Garox, because there was so much potential to have with him, but it was kind of dropped for a cliche beast that you could see your generic Beast Quest adventure. So there is that. So in a weird way, I would say I do prefer Calderon as a story level, like I said, because even though it's cliche and predictable, this one, while it wasn't predictable how to defeat the beast, it does have a similar form to it. But I feel like it was a more funny executed in Calderon, with a better beast, a more incompetent lead, and okay. Like I said, Myandra is better. Myandra is better than Wraith, but it was Wraith's incompetence that made his arc more interesting, if that makes any sense. So overall, I think I enjoy Calderon than Garox, in my opinion, as a story level, and both probably a beast level as well, because obviously Calderon's a more interesting beast. But yeah, there is my little analysis there of Garox the Coral Giant. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe with the good stuff, hit notification bell right corner down below so you can stay in tune with all Beast Quest content on the channel, various other sources that are there. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, peace out.